Hi, I'm Ellen Canner. I'm Huffington Post Meatless Monday blogger, author of the award-winning book Feeding the Hungry Ghost. I am goofily in awe of Patti Smith, her life, her poetry, and especially her two memoirs. Just Kids is a soaring recollection of being young in New York and discovering art in herself through her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe. M-Train, in contrast, is a meditation on loss and aging. She is now, inexplicably, 70. Smith writes of striving to hold fast to all that is precious to her before it vanishes. I'm going to remember everything, and then I'm going to write it all down, she writes. An aria to a coat, a requiem for a cafe. The godmother of punk is working to preserve the precious in other ways, too. She was just here for Miami Book Fair talking about the art of creation and her new book, Devotion, Why I Write. And she's been rocking Pathway to Paris, the show advocating a solution to climate change, along with fellow performers REM frontman Michael Stipe, Flea of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Dr. Vandana Shiva and Bill McKibben, two sustainability rock stars in their own right. Smith is keenly conscious of and grateful for every little glimmering of good in the world. I think that's her artistic spark. Mine might be cooking. Sure, there's a world of prepared and processed foods out there, but I'm a market disrupt. I still feel the power of sharing food from the earth with the people I love, or am goofily in awe of. So what does this have to do with Patti Smith? Well, for an essay for Bon Appetit, she recollected how a Thanksgiving childhood game of who could eat the most mashed potatoes taught her the bounty we assume is a natural part of the holiday is not a given, it's a gift. We should be grateful for it. Knowing Patti Smith loves mashed potatoes, I might be tempted to make them if she ever comes to dinner. Hey, humor me here. But I'd probably make whipped beans instead. Potatoes as a crop can deplete the soil. Pulses, that's dried beans, replenish it. Switching from beef to beans would reduce our carbon load too. Score one for the planet, and the animals, and your health, which is why I love being vegan. It's the single best multitasker I know. You don't have to be Patti Smith to make a difference. We can all wake up to what's precious. We all have the power to show our devotion. Showing it with a plant-based diet is delicious. So, for the whipped beans, here's what you do. Take about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and you heat it over medium-high heat, and you add 3 cloves of garlic minced, a goodly pinch of red pepper flakes, and when it comes kind of golden and smelling fantastic, then you add your white beans and their broth. This is about 2 cups of each. And you stir, and it seems a little soupy at first, but it will cook down. I've just been at this for a couple minutes. The beans are already starting to thicken and break down, and that's what you want. You want everyone to get together and get happy. That bubbling is the sound of happy beans. It's a good thing. Show off your upper body strength and mash by hand. I like to use a large wooden spoon. For about 10 minutes, or until you've broken up the beans. Alternately, you can use an immersion blender or a food processor for a minute or 2. I like doing it by hand, and I like the beans to be slightly chunky for a rustic texture. But you can blitz until quite creamy and fluffy if that's your thing. Add your lemon juice, and salt and pepper, and your fresh herbs, to make them sing. They look mashed potato-ish, with a mild, satisfying flavor and a luscious, creamy texture. They offer more nourishment thanks to high fiber, high protein, and low glycemic load. Beans are an excellent way to manage diabetes. Plus, they have a whole range of minerals. So you go from, 5-6 ingredients, soupy beans, to something that's very delectable and creamy. And I have thrown a few heirloom radishes and tomatoes here. You can also do them on crostini. And I promise you, Dang, that is so good. So hi and bye. I'm Ellen Canner, Huffington Post Meatless Monday blogger, author of Feeding the Hungry Ghost, Life, Faith, and What to Eat for Dinner, and Pulse fan. Thank you so much.